Hello, hi, and welcome to this one. Well, in this video, we are talking transactional relationship. While some may agree that all relationships inherently are transactional, today I specifically want to focus on romantic relationship. What does it entail? What does it mean to be in a transactional relationship? What are the pros? What are the cons? Who stands to benefit? Who stands to lose the most? The works. I want us to get into the nitty-gritty of it, and I have compiled a couple of videos, rather several videos that have different takes on it. And I think you will find it interesting to see the divide between the genders. But not only that, women who feel that the relationships have to be transactional if a woman is going to benefit anything from it, and other women who argue that if that's the direction that we are going on in, the whole society stands to lose. Do you know what I mean? So that's exactly what we're going to do to be discussing in this video. And what I like about it is that whether you agree with it or not, whether you choose to participate in this discussion or not, the point is that it is happening. People are doing it on a daily basis. Now, is it working out? Is it not? Who is it benefiting? I think this is more like, here's the information. What do we think of it? Who is it serving? Maybe it's something that you're considering. Maybe it's something that's prevalent in the society or in the community that you live in. What have you seen? So in the comments below, please also join the discussion. Let's get talking. What have you seen? Have you been in one? How did it work out? Did it work out for you? Did you benefit? Did you lose more than your other partner? And what do you think it is? I think that's another thing, the definition of it. What exactly do we think transactional, that part specifically, that transactional part of it, is it? What exactly is it? And what are we exchanging, right? What's the value that we are exchanging? Anyway, without making this intro too long, let's get into it. We're going to see a couple of videos, then I'll jump in and give my commentary, and then obviously give my final views at the end. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoy this one.
I was tagged in a video where there is a woman who is saying that women are to blame for making relationships transactional with men, and then women wonder why they're single. And this is how the script gets so easily flipped back on women, and women get blamed over and over and over again. Men are the ones that historically and systematically made their relationships with women transactional. The history of marriage was a way for a man to quite literally own a woman so that she was unable to be financially independent in the broader society. Drew talks about this often, where people would give her shit, or her boyfriend, now fiance, shit for not proposing to her sooner. And she's like, you need to deprogram and uproot your colonial version of marriage. We can get into the nuance of how romance was created as a broke man's way to have proximity to women if he had no tangible resources to offer, but I don't think a lot of people are ready for that conversation. Recognizing the language that women aren't choosing to be single in the "that's why you're single," or I get those comments all the time, like, you must be single, as if this isn't a very deliberate choice on a lot of women's behalf. On the other hand, men aren't choosing to be single, and that's why they themselves cannot fathom that women would want that choice. That's why they try to weaponize the single cat lady, the crazy cat lady, you're going to die alone. It is all projection coming from men, and it really is upsetting and frustrating to me when women start taking that on as if it's their own narrative and start blaming women too.
I'm sorry, sir. No one cares. We want money. Yeah, let me tell you something. When a guy fucks you over and all you have is a wet cat to show for it, it hurts. That's what makes bitches depressed. But when a guy fucks me over and I look in my account, I look in my closet, I'm like, it's cool. I can cry in a Rolls Royce. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt that bad when he fucks you over. I just want to have some kind of investment portfolio to show for it.
The harsh truth is love is not enough. You having relationship problems or you feel like you can't find the one? Just understand, as a man, you really need to understand this more than women. Love is not enough. You need money with that. You need power with that. You need to be entertaining. There's men out here that's rich that get cheated on because he feel like love is enough. He used his money, his power to get that woman. She gonna sit at home and play wife while I go play ball. No, it's not enough. Everything is transactional now. And the reason this is because life is transactional. Life has become so transactional that it's affecting our relationships, our personal lives. We work to pay bills, to buy things, and we only buy those things so we can be transactional with other people. Don't even send them something that's educational if they don't like to learn. They're gonna be like, okay, whatever. Even from being a consumer and watching other people's content, the things we see, you're not getting this like, you're not getting this comment. We use our likes and comments as transactional things now. I took my like back because they found out that you might be getting an extra 2 cents. You might be getting an extra 10 cents for their like, them watching your whole video. As a matter of fact, if they looking at your video and it don't got enough likes and comments already, they don't want to be a part of it. I'm not helping that. Our entire lives are transactional. What makes you think you're gonna get away with just being in love? That's not how it works. That's why y'all think men hate y'all. Y'all think men don't like y'all. Y'all think all men are DL because it's all transactional. Oh, he want to hit on the first day right when he take me out. Yes. Or you need to be something more valuable. Your conversation need to be more valuable. You need to be so fun that he like, man, I have fun regardless. You need to have value in other areas. If all you do is sit there and look good, your conversation going nowhere, you're not that entertaining, you don't want to do nothing, well, fuck it. What Tupac say? We'll have a race of babies that hate the ladies and make the babies. That's right now. Come on, yo. It's way deeper than love.
I mean, I don't remember asking you to buy me that perfume. You did it because you said you wanted to. And he's just like, well, yeah, that's because I thought you would, at least give me a chance if I did a nice gesture for you.
I feel like nobody talks about this. I think a lot of the times being transactional is not the core of the problem. The problem is that a lot of people are doing it in a very not consensual way. You see, there won't be a problem if both parties are open and honest about what they want in the beginning. So both parties know what they are expecting. And if both of them are able to make the other person feels like they are satisfied with what they got, then that's called mutual beneficial. But here's the thing. A lot of guys, they didn't ask you what you want. They just assume what you want. And after they've done the deeds that they think you want, and they be like, hey, I give you what you want. Where's what I want? In that situation, does a girl ever have the chance to say what she actually wants? Does she have a choice at all? I do not call these guys transactional. It's cliche, but it's actually about power. Because in that case, he's the only one that is allowed to voice what he actually wants. But girls can only go along with their plan. But what if the plan doesn't go their way? That girl has problems. Probably a bad person. That's why they don't want to have an open conversation about what you want before the date. Assuming you don't know what you want, don't actually care, or simply just doesn't have much to give.
All relationships are transactional. It's not a matter of whether you agree with it. It's not a matter of whether that's how it should be. It's just a matter of that's how it actually is. We don't always speak the transaction out. We don't create a written contract. It's just an implied transaction situation. So one party is expecting to maybe have access to your time, to your space, to your energy. And meanwhile, you may be expecting that someone's going to pay you or provide access to their resources or share with you. Sometimes you're doing things in what are called covert contracts, where you're being nice to someone hoping that they're going to reciprocate down the line. I would advise, don't engage in a covert contract. If you're going to want something down the line, let them know that. Say, hey, I'm going to do this for you now, but you're going to owe me. That way it is no longer covert and it's a pure right on the table contract. And then they understand, yeah, we agreed to this, we went into this knowing that I was going to owe you down the line. Otherwise, you just end up resenting people for really no just cause, because you did them a favor and then later you want it returned, but then it's not really a favor. So really, you're the one who is demanding too much because you understand you weren't upfront. So we have to be upfront when we're in our relationships, when we're starting relationships, especially in the beginning of relationships. We don't always know what boundaries we have to establish, because sometimes we have to wait until they violate a boundary, meaning make us feel uncomfortable. or try to get too many resources. We have to wait till that happens. But sometimes we know up front when we get started where we want to draw the line on certain things. So it's best to be upfront, tell people exactly what you want, and to tell people exactly what you're willing to give them. To the extent that you can see that there's a need on your part or on their part, go ahead and communicate that need. Don't be afraid.
Shira7 is really funny. She makes a lot of good points, but she obviously views relationships as like purely transactional. Like, as a woman, just make sure that you look good, make sure you look pretty, and if you can get a man that pays all your bills and provides for you financially, takes care of you, like, you're set, you're good. Like, there's no real love, no loyalty, no faithfulness, which is like, that's pretty sad. He pretty much preaches that the only value a man provides is financial. That's it. Let me just say this. I could never be with a man that just paid my bills. Like, I could never be with a man who was like, oh yeah, I like him. Yeah, I like him, but he pays all my bills, so like, I'm fine. Like, that will never ever be me. I'd rather die. I need to be with someone that I'm absolutely crazy about. Like I can't be with someone that I feel like about. No matter how much money they have. I have to be with someone I'm like head over heels with. Otherwise, I don't want to be with them. Like, there's no in between. It's that Capricorn thing.
I absolutely hate seeing the younger girlies waste y'all best years on men that you are not attracted to at all and who are also significantly older than you just for the sake of getting to the bag, because social media has made you feel like that is a win. In my opinion, honestly, dating somebody that you are not at all attracted to for the sole purpose of money is still settling, because there's somebody out here who will have their ish together and who you'll wake up to and feel like is, damn, like, he's fine. You'll actually like him and you can have all the things. Like, I'm not a believer in like, oh, one or the other. Like, I know like on here everybody's like, oh, like, you have to choose one or the other. Like, you know, pick one. Like, if he's gonna have his ish together, but he's not gonna look the best, and you know, if he looks great, he's not gonna have... No, bitch. And I hate seeing y'all give in to these ideologies that like, oh, it's a win if like I'm completely repulsed by this man and I don't want to be touched by him and I don't want to like really even breathe his same air, but like he has so much money, so I'm winning. No, you're not. You're miserable. This man gets you in some of your best years. Y'all be in your prime. You have the energy to do things, the adventurous spirit to do new things, and you're with some man in his late 50s. And if it's genuine, don't get me wrong, if it's genuine, go for it, you know, like, okay, whatever. But I'm speaking like for when it's not. You're with this man in his late 50s. Y'all probably don't have a lot in common. Like, be so for real. He's more in the settle down state. He does not have the same energy as you, more than likely. He doesn't want to go do the same things as you. Y'all have two different sets of values because y'all are two so different points in your life. And you have convinced yourself that you're winning because, oh, money. Okay, great, money, time. You can't get the time back. And then the thing is, like, if y'all just make the money yourselves, your dating pool is so much more expansive anyway, because then you don't have to put up with this man that you don't really like because you have money too. And you'll be in circles with men that you actually like that also have money. I just hate that for y'all. I hate when I see that, honestly. Unless it's genuine.
Treat him like a bank and he'll treat you like a customer. I just saw this comment on someone's video, and if you do not treat him like a bank, he's going to treat you like an unpaid intern or worse, a servant, because he was conditioned to do so. Men are conditioned to seek value from women, and women are conditioned to give value to men. So it's already a losing game for women unless we rewire our brain. It's also a losing game for women if men don't rewire their brains, because they'll be constantly seeking value without giving it back. They might think that they're giving it back, but in reality, it's not a 50-50 exchange. The minute a woman turns around and does exactly what a man does, seeking value out of a man, she's all of a sudden considered a gold digger. But when it's a man doing it, he's seeking a traditional wife. This comment was on a video of a gal talking about how if she goes on a date with a man and there's really not a vibe, she will go 50-50 with him because she doesn't understand or fall for the rhetoric of a high value woman. And from my perspective, if a man is asking out a woman, we're working on that assumption, he should pay for the date. In the same way that if I ask a woman out on a date, I'm going to pay for that date. I understand that things might be more fluid now with dating apps and women asking out men, but in reality, men historically have gotten paid more, they don't suffer a pink tax, and they've been conditioned to seek value out of women, and women just give it away for free. That's why content like Sprinkle Sprinkle or people who are saying decenter men or even doing 4B is so radical, because that's not what we're conditioned to do as women. And men will always seek value, even if it's not just from women. They seek value, social value. They want to look good in their buddy's eyes, and having a beautiful woman on his arm gives him that value. So simply by your existence, you're giving men value when you stand next to them. You might as well get something out of it for yourself.
Not the unpaid intern child. Oh my goodness. But listen, I can't help as I watch these videos and wonder if this could potentially be the answer, right? If we are upfront from the beginning about what is it that we expect, what is it that we want, and what is it that we are willing to give in return, does that mean we minimize the room for disappointment? Does that mean we minimize the room for disagreement when it comes to, oh, but this is what I wanted and I thought that this is what you were going to give, and the other person say, yeah, but I never agreed to that, I never promised you that. Could this be the answer? Just being upfront and saying, these are my expectations and this is what I'm willing to give to get what I'm expecting. I also do want to say that when it comes to this argument, women often argue that let it be transactional and let that transaction be money. Because first of all, men are not providing the emotional or the mental safety and protection that women require. So if you're not giving me that, at least pay the bills, right? And you have another camp of women that say, no, hold on just a minute. I can pay my own bills. I'm doing just fine. If you are not coming in my life, bringing me peace, bringing me security, bringing me both emotional and mental protection, I don't need you. Keep it. Keep your money. Keep your money, because I'll have the money, but I'll still be stressed out. I'll still be tired. I'll still be drained, because we know whether you want to agree or not, whether you want to admit it or not, men drain women of their energy. Just being in a relationship with a man can be so draining. So there are women that say, you know what? No, that's not working, right? So, and I get that for those women, the transactional thing wouldn't work anyway. But anyway, I don't wanna veer off into that topic. Let's continue. Let's watch a few more videos and then I'll round off at the end.
A conversation that will always be hilarious to me is when people try to convince me that relationships are not transactional. And for the men that look like God submitted them at 11:59 for a 12 o'clock deadline that always have the most to say about women, it has only been highlighted as transactional when women started asking for something in return. Because if you knew anything about history, it was always transactional, just that women did not ask for anything in return. We were just brainwashed participants. And now that women are no longer sitting back and allowing men to do what they want to them and have nothing in return, it's all of a sudden, oh, relationships are not transactional. Silk brain that only operates when inconvenience enter the chat for you personally. As long as capitalism exists, relationships will always be transactional.
Maybe it's just me and my own unique artisanal brand of autism. But not only do I not feel offended by the idea of or participation of transactional relationships, I actually prefer to have that really clear and understand my role in the relationship. It just makes things so much more clear, and that way we're all on the same page. Because at the end of the day, all relationships are transactional, whether we want to admit it or not. I just like being on the same page and knowing what's going on.
So I find myself in this place in my life where I feel like majority, 90% of my relationships, including with my family, and people that you're around every day, are transactional. And that's not the spirit of the person I am. And I'm having a really tough time. And I wrote a journal entry, and I feel like I want to share it Because for one, I don't know who else is going through this, but for two, I also don't know how alone I am. And in feeling this way, I want to humanize myself because I feel like I have to be a robot sometimes and not feel emotions to make everybody else comfortable. So this is what I wrote. I can't seem to understand why nobody wants me. Nobody can hear me say what I want. I feel like I have to beg people just to be in my life, to want to be there for me with no strings attached. Everybody wants something. Nobody just wants me for me. I literally cannot think of one person. They either want something I have, want a piece of my value, want some of my wisdom, want a connection I have, want to be close to me because they believe I'll get somewhere someday with the ambition I have, want me to heal them as a Black woman, want me to help them, want sex, want access to whatever they can get from me, but never just want to be with me for being with me's sake. I only come with strings attached. If that's the case, then why be in the world with people when I can just be in the world alone? What's really the point? There's literally no one that loves me unconditionally. It's all conditional, all transactional, and I haven't operated in that way. So I want to understand how I landed in a place where that's all I get/have. All I know is I'm experiencing every kind of heartbreak all at once. Anybody can relate?
You know the men that say they stop giving to a relationship because a woman isn't matching their effort? Well, the problem isn't that a woman isn't matching her effort. The problem is that you expect her to.
I believe, here's how you can tell the difference between a man who is healthy and a man that's toxic. The man that's healthy is looking to be of service. The man that's toxic is looking to be served.
I grew up being told that in traditional relationships, men want to provide and be of service. Men want to give. Men feel good when they give. Men want to make women happy. And a man is happy and content when his woman is happy and content. And all a woman needs to do in return is praise and appreciate him. So then I would get in relationships with men and they would provide and be of service and I would praise and appreciate. But in every relationship, the man would slowly stop being of service and start asking me to service him. More time, more energy, more attention, more money, more labor. Before you know it, you're providing all the service and they're the receiver. And you can feel that imbalance and it doesn't feel right. So you ask for them to service you, the natural order of things. But you're told you're asking for too much, you're keeping score. Why can't you appreciate the things I do for you? And so you say to yourself, oh, right, I'm not supposed to keep score. I'm supposed to praise and appreciate. That's what relationship advice tells us, right? So you intentionally look for things to be grateful for. I started a gratitude journal, and after 3 weeks of writing in it daily, there was not one entry about him. So because he was no longer being of service, there was nothing to praise and appreciate. And of course, they notice this. So when they do decide to do something, a load of laundry, the dishes, a date night, not only do they expect praise and appreciation, but they expect something in return. Now they're keeping score and everything starts to feel like a transaction. And this was so confusing because it went against everything I was taught about men. And so it makes you think, well, maybe everything I was taught was wrong. Maybe appreciation isn't enough. And because now you're used to relationships where men are transactional, you adopt this defense mechanism, this response to scorekeeping in transactional relationships, where you don't ask for anything because you don't want it held over your head. You want things to be 50-50 because then at least they're doing their part. Because men like this don't feel genuine pleasure in giving for the sake of giving. They only give to get. They too want you to contribute 50-50 and they enter their soft boy drizzle era, which is their ego's response to being unable to serve.
So, if I am a man that's only looking to be served, I'm not going to see you. Because I'm only going to see you through the lens of how you service me. If I'm looking to serve and be of service, then I'm going to see you. What's your need? What's your thoughts? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Well, why do you think that? Why do you feel that? Oh, wow, you put some lashes on today. Oh, okay. You got some extensions in. Because I'm looking to be of service. So I'm actually evaluating what's in front of me and identifying how I can make a benefit or make a contribution versus looking at it from what's in it for me?
Why does my relationship have to be called transactional because I want somebody to reciprocate my energy? Why can't we call it a reciprocal relationship? And I don't feel like anybody doesn't want to be in a relationship that is reciprocal. Who wants to have a relationship with somebody where you're not getting the things that you need and you're just pouring all your all into this person and you're not receiving anything back from them? It's kind of like, I'm gonna get what I deserve because I did it genuinely, but why not go and do it genuinely for somebody who's actually gonna care? And that's all about doing shit from your heart, because you can do something for somebody and you don't have to regret doing something for somebody. But when you feel like you're underappreciated or you feel like you can go somewhere else and be more appreciated, that's fine too. I don't feel like that takes away from that being from the heart. No, it's just like, if I'm going to do something from the heart, I'm also going to do something from the heart for somebody who's actually going to appreciate and recognize what I'm doing. Is that not like normal? Is that not normal for people to want to go where they're appreciated?
Marrying for money sounds cute until you realize that you can't have it all. This one is for my sister, cousin, friends, nieces, and Thundercats, the women who are married, inspiring to be married, or newlyweds. Baby, I've been married for 32 years, and this is what no one's going to tell you on this app about marriage. You don't have to marry a rich man to be provided for. I said it. A man doesn't need a yacht to be considered a provider. And he doesn't need a yacht to give you stability either. He needs character, vision, discipline, and love. Heavy on the character. If you give that man time, he'll build the life that you dream of. He really will. Now, I respect Shira7 for her thought process on a few things, and the girls who teach that kind of strategy. But understand this, and this is from her own words. Quote, after 15 years of marriage, you're not kissing anymore. See, that's why playing that type of game is high risk. It's high maintenance, and most of the time it's not sustainable, especially if you're looking for a real connection with your husband. Because one thing's for sure and two things for certain. A man that leads with his wallet may try to control you with it also. But a man that loves you, he will grow for you. He will build for you. And you will glow because you're secure and you're cherished. Let TT give you an example. Like I said, we've been married for 32 years. It'll be 33 years in June. I'm an only child, and my mother passed away. It'll be 3 years in August. We were married at 19. My husband knows my mother, almost as well as I did. And he knows my love for her and his love for her. So when she was passing away, my husband was the one who lifted me. He wanted to make sure that I didn't break all the way. So he went to the rehab appointments with me. He took me back and forth to the hospital when she was in rehab. When she came home, he helped me lift her, change her, turn her, pray for her, encourage her, and then ultimately lay her to rest. These are the things that money can't buy. These are the things in the intimacy that you risk when you marry for money. So Nisi, don't confuse provider with rich. So please don't confuse provider with rich. Look for a man with a plan, not just a paycheck. Choose love with wisdom. Because when a man is loved right, he becomes wealthy in every way. As always, TT loves you. Follow me for more wisdom coming from a wife that's been married 32 years and still very happily in love.
I have no problem with transactional relationships. I actually think in this day and age, I can actually understand why a woman would say, you know what, you can't trust men anymore. They all cheat. They all do all this nonsense. I'd rather be with a rich guy, have all my kids with a rich guy, and then if we get divorced, we get divorced. I completely understand that guy. And similarly, I totally understand the man that says, you know what, women, they're all the same headache. They all want the same thing. Why would I be with one that doesn't give me any sex when I could be with a young girl that's constantly got energy and she gives me sex? I totally understand the transaction. But what I don't understand is the delusion behind it. If you know that's what you're going for, don't expect intimacy from that connection. So I'll meet people in those relationships where the man genuinely believes there's an intimate, long-lasting, monogamous connection. But it's not possible. If you're I agree with doing absolutely anything you want, just don't be delusional about it. If you're dating a woman half your age that doesn't speak the same language, totally fine, you're using her for her beauty, but expect her to be using you for your looks. Men are genuinely believe, no, she loves me. Women only care about those things more once they're fundamentally attracted to you. They have to be attracted to you first, then we give a shit if you're intelligent and powerful and successful.
Wow. Okay, so there you have it. The lady, she said she's in her 50s. First of all, ma'am, you look good. All right, you look good. I believe you when you say you're happily married, because a woman that looks that good, something is going right in her relationship, because we know that when a woman is in a miserable relationship, they age. Okay, they age. Yeah, you have it. Now, I wanted to say the idea, this is my perspective, the idea of transactional relationships are nothing new. I think we are only assigning a term to it, or a badge to it, a description rather to it, right? It's nothing new. I think relationships are inherently transactional, and maybe they should be. Maybe they should be, right? From the dawn of time, women, from when civilization began, or rather, let me say, when humans started becoming societal beings, relationships have always been transactional, right? Women chose the biggest guy in the village or in their little settlement because that meant that should danger come, should predators come, they are in a better position to be protected. And that's the guy they chose to reproduce with, because they knew that this is the guy who will protect me. Right? The same with men. Men chose women with broader hips because that indicated fertility, that indicated advantages when it came to childbearing. So there was always I'm looking at what you can give me so that I can give you what you can give me. It's nothing new. Even when marriage as like a legal thing was introduced, it was always transactional. It was mostly made for people that were rich, mostly for royalty, in order for them to build alliances and to build relationships with other nations. Right? Why do we think half of the European royalties are related? Exactly, because marriages were based on alliances, not love, not all these feelings that we have now introduced. Now, that's a different topic on whether we should go back to that or not. But the point is that it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It only has become a problem now, centuries and decades later. It has become a problem now when women have learned that, so men are making decisions that benefit them. Men are making decisions that fuel their existence, that make their time on this planet early. And in most cases, it doesn't result in me as a woman having the same benefits. Now women are like, hold on, I'm going to choose better. Right? And now when we start choosing better, a lot of men get relegated, right? They're not chosen because now they're not up to par with what the expectations that women have and for a life partner. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's only become a problem. We starting to furrow our brows all of a sudden because it's women making the demands, right? The roles have changed. They have been swapped, right? I think that's where the problem is. Now, there's a young lady who spoke about her relationships in general. She wasn't necessarily referring to romantic love. She was speaking about relationships in general. And that's sad. That makes me sad. And as someone who's been in relationships like that, especially friendships where I honestly felt like I'm not benefiting. I'm only called on when something is needed from me. I show up for people and then they don't show up for me. It's sad, but even in those situations, you can choose to leave. You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay. And believe it or not, you will find people that mess with you. You will find people that want to be around you, that want to show up for you, that care about you. You just have to be patient. And like they say, even with relations, the more you entertain people that are doing you wrong, you are delaying yourself to find the people that are actually going to treat you right. Anyway, that is transactional relationships. I think we might do another one later. We'll see how that goes. I found that this is a very interesting one. Women are saying, listen, these men have nothing to offer. They might as well offer us money. They might as well offer us. That's all they have anyway, right? It's tricky. It's hard to hear, but maybe that is our new reality. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. See you on the next one. Bye.